In this Excel worksheet, we calculate the break-even point, or actually the target profit, for a multi-product company. We're going to go through 3 steps. First, we're going to calculate the combined contribution margin ratio for the entire company. The second step will be to calculate the level of sales required to earn our target profit that's on a combined product basis. Step 3 will calculate the sales required for each of the individual products. And then step 4 will just prove out that it is indeed the required level of sales to earn our target profit. Our first step then is to calculate our combined contribution margin ratios. We have to calculate sales for product A, and that's simply our selling price of $150 per unit times 9,000 units. Our variable cost of goods sold is the $100 per unit times 9,000 units. So we have a contribution margin by taking our sales of 1,350,000, subtracting 900,000. We have a contribution margin of $450,000. We'll do the same for product B. We take our $200 selling price times 13,000 units. For our variable cost, we take $130 per unit and multiply it by the 13,000 units. And again, our contribution margin is our sales minus our variable cost. For a combined company, we just add together our sales of product A plus our sales of product B. And for variable cost in total, we take the variable cost of A plus the variable cost of product B. And then again, our contribution margin is simply our sales minus our variable cost, or we could add together the individual contribution margins. Next, we'll calculate our contribution margin ratio. We'll take every item and divide it by sales. So that means that for every $1 in sales, our variable cost will take the $2,590,000 divided by the $3,950,000. Our variable cost account for 65.6% of our sales dollar, which means our contribution margin again is the difference between the two. All right, step 2. We need to calculate the level of sales to earn our required target profit. In this case, we're told our target profit is $6,000. Our fixed costs are given as $400,000. So we need to earn a combined contribution margin of $400,000 in fixed costs plus our target profit of $6,000, or $406,000. Next, we simply take that $406,000 and we're going to divide it by our contribution margin ratio, which is 34%, because again, for every $1 in sales for our firm, it's costing us 65 cents, and we're making a profit of roughly 34 cents. So our required sales in order to earn our target profit will be the 406,000 divided by the 34%. We're going to need to sell $1,179,191 in order to achieve our target profit. Again, our underlying assumption is our sales mix remains constant. So let's go ahead and figure out our sales mix right now. We take our current sales of product A of 1,350,000 and divide it by our total sales of 3.9 million. Currently, product A accounts for 34% of our sales, and product B accounts for 66% of our sales. So, to calculate our sales mix, or individual sales of each of our products at our target profit level of sales, we take our target profit, or target level of sales, multiply it by the 34% sales mix for product A, and for product B, we take the 1,179,000 and multiply it by the 66%. If we wanted to calculate the number of units, we would simply take our sales in dollars divided by the unit price. And again, we're selling product A for $150 and product B is being sold for $200. So in terms of units, total sales $403,015 divided by $150 per unit, we would need to sell 2,687 units of product A, and we would need to sell 3,881 units of product B. So if we were asked for the break-even level of sales for the individual products, here's our answer. And if we were asked for the break-even number of units to achieve our target profit, this is our answer. We can go ahead and prove this out. Let's go ahead and calculate our contribution margin on an individual basis and a combined basis and show that it indeed does equal our target profit. So our sales, we've got 2,687 units times a selling price of $150 per unit. Our variable cost is the same 2,687 units times $100 per unit. And we have a contribution margin for product A of 403 minus the 268 of $134,000. For product B, we'll do the same thing. We take the 3,881 units times our $200 selling price for $776,176 in sales. Variable cost, again, 3,881 units times our variable cost per unit of 130, and we get a contribution margin of $271,662. On a combined basis, let's just add the two together. Total sales will be $1,179,191, which is what we calculated in step 2. Our variable cost will be the 504 plus the 268, or $773,000. And our contribution margin is the difference between our sales and our variable cost, $406,000, which is what we calculated above. And again, if we were to pick up our fixed cost of $400,000, we can see our contribution margin is indeed the $6,000 target profit.